Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Your Football Show. Apologies for being late. 7 minutes to be precise, but I was waiting on my Burger King and we were having a chat. So, yeah, apologies. All my fault this time, as it normally is, to be fair. Please do smash a like on the video. Subscribe to my channel and the other channels you can see on the screen. We've got the amazing Oscar at All Leeds TV. We've got Jack at City of Leeds Fans. Make sure you check out Jack City as well. We've got Luca over at Ought to Know Better, as seen on TalkSport, or heard on TalkSport, should I say. And then the lovely EV channel coming soon and has been for the past 12 months or so. And maybe will never appear. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, March, you've got a date set. Oh, there you go. Are we having an opening party kind of thing? Are we doing anything for it?
Yeah, bring your own booze though.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can't stretch to
Okay.
anything for anybody else.
No. Okay, cool. Listen, folks, we're here to talk about Chelsea and obviously the fact now that Leeds United theoretically have 12 cup finals. We will talk on last night's performance. We're lucky enough to have Luke with us, who was at the game last night. We were supposed to have JT as well tonight, but he was also at the game, but he's missing in action, so maybe he enjoyed himself a little bit too much down there. But Luke, how was it for you in the ground? Yeah, he did enjoy himself, yeah. How was it for you in the ground, mate? Because I thought Leeds United, and to be honest, on the TV, all you could hear were the Leeds fans. But in the ground, did the performance come across as good as it did at home? Because I thought they played great yesterday.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, buzzing, absolutely buzzing with it. From start to finish, I don't think there was any real periods in the game where we didn't look. I mean, we didn't look out of place against a strong Chelsea squad. The atmosphere was raucous. It was feral. It was, it's a Wednesday night. There's a potential of going into extra time and penalties and getting home early hours of the morning. It's your raucous, it's your diehards who just literally love going to watch Leeds regardless. Everyone was pissed up. It was just a real good, feel good evening. It felt very much like the Leeds of old and going to watch Leeds away back years ago. It's one of the best away days I've had for a long, long time. It was a Wednesday night, so that speaks volumes, doesn't it? Everybody was up for it, and the fact that we matched Chelsea, arguably, I felt we did for the full 90. It was just unfortunate that we conceded that late goal. But yeah, it was real positive performance. And you know what? At the end of a real tough month in terms of traveling and things, we can be quite proud of that performance. And they'll take a lot out of that going into Huddersfield at the weekend, considering the squad that we had out as well.
Sorry, I'm just mid-chip. What do you put that down? What do you put that down to, Luke? Like the atmosphere being so good amongst the fan base and that? Is it purely just winning games of football? Is it the way we're playing? Is it how Daniel Farke seems to have fostered this atmosphere within the playing group as well, on the pitch, off the pitch? What do you put it down to?
I'd say probably a combination and a blend of all of those. I think we're playing some real nice stuff at the minute. That press last night was that they couldn't live with it, and we saw from the first Mateo Joseph's first goal that leading that press from the front. I think it was Archie Gray won it on the edge of their box initially, and it came down to Anthony. I haven't seen the goals back, so I'm trying to do this from a very hazy memory.
Right. You bang on, mate. You bang on.
And then obviously popped it in for Joseph, but. Yeah, the style of play, the fact that football is easier to watch when you're winning games. It's as simple as that. I mean, we only have to look back to the days when we were a mid-table championship side, and we could be beaten by any team and we could win any game, and it was one of those sort of seasons. But being at the top of the championship, it does breed confidence, but it also breeds a belief in the fans, and it was unbelievable day out. It was right from me getting the train down there, I met a group of lads from Oman.
I seen you on the train.
Yeah, I was on the train with a group, and they were literally just English students that had come over here to learn English and that. And I was just got chatting to them, and I said, "Do you mind before we go?" They were asking where I was going. I said, "Before you go, do you mind just doing a Leeds salute for me on video?" And they were like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." And it just sets the mood, doesn't it? You're gonna have a great day out at that stage, and just real positive. And look, just to mention on Farke, he still came over and did the wait, even after we'd lost at the end. And all the Leeds fans stayed in to the end to cheer and shout and chant. We sat in there and sang Three Little Birds, like literally all the way through, and the crowd sung every word. It was class, man. It was so good.
Great tune that as well, by the way. Love a bit of Bob. But do you know what? Right, there's the mad thing though, Oscar. I'll flip to you because if you think back, and I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but if you think back to Jesse Marsh celebrating a 4-1 beating of Man City, and he's going, yeah, there was nothing to celebrate that day, and he thought it was mint that he'd kept them down to 4. But that's the difference, right? We've gone to Chelsea, we've give them a good game, and the fans are still appreciative of Farke doing that. And I think he understood that they'd put in a good performance with the B, because Farke's not the guy who does that if we get slapped up. Do you know what I mean? So I think, again, that just further proves to me that the performance was right up there. I woke up this morning and was still happy. I was like, yeah, we've been knocked out, but what performance by Gray, what performance by Joseph. There were more positives than there were negatives last night for me, Oscar. And we got beat.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. I mean, you lose to, for me, Chelsea, in terms of in England, Chelsea are second on the rivalry thing for me. No question about it. We all know who's top, but Chelsea are second by a distance. And when you lose the 90th minute to them, would been absolutely immense all game. Conor Gallagher scores, and he's gone. Honestly, he scored like he's won the World Cup. The way he's celebrating, you know what I mean? You're thinking, but I know it's more relief more than anything, and that just sums it up to me. You know, the fact that Chelsea, you know, the supposedly mighty Chelsea who won the Champions. Oh, what's happened there? Is that on mine? Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
sorry.
I was going. No,
yours?
I don't know whose it was, but I was going. It's gone, and then realised I was on mute because I'm eating chips. But yeah, I don't know what happened there, Oscar. It went a bit wild, but go on, mate.
I was talking rubbish anyway. To be fair, I don't even know what I was talking. Yeah, so they're just celebrating that they won the World Cup, and that says a lot to me. You know, we gave them a real game yesterday. You know, it was one of those games where second half I thought we were the better team. You know, I thought we more than matched them second half. I thought we were great first half, and then second half we took it up another level. Chelsea couldn't get a kick at times in that second bit of the game. And the fact Archie Gray went toe-to-toe with two £100 million midfielders. One's a World Cup winner. One's, I think, young player of the last World Cup as well.
British
Enzo
top,
Fernandez.
Highest transfer fee for a British player is Caicedo as well. So
yeah, are these second and are they top at first and second? Caicedo
Probably.
and Fernandez.
Yeah.
We'll go with it. We'll run with that anyway because it sounds better, doesn't it? We'll run with that. But yeah, he just no fear whatsoever. Ampadu going back to his former club who never gave him a chance. £92.5 million difference between him and Enzo Fernandez. You didn't see that last night in terms of transfer fee. You didn't see that at all last night. And the fact we didn't go with a full-strength team, and I see why we did that. That's no criticism of Farke, by the way. So I see why he did it. And the confidence that will give Anthony, Joseph alone is going to be massive for us, you know, them coming off the bench this season. You know, the fact they've got that kind of game under their belts. So, yeah, it's only positives, but I got over it pretty quickly, losing in the 90th minute. And it's one of those, if there is a way to lose to Chelsea, that probably is it. And I tell you what it really reminded me of last night. Arsenal in the cup under Bielsa. It was the same kind of game where it was a bit of a sucker punch at the end, but we had half a team out in that game as well, and we more than matched the team we were playing, and they were a complete mess as well. And yeah, it was a really, really strong showing yesterday. And other than the result, it's probably the best case kind of scenario. And the facts, I try and look at the positives as well. Leicester have got an extra game now.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens to them with that.
We didn't want to have to play Leicester again anyway, man. If we'd have got a better tie, I'd have maybe been a bit disappointed. But I looked at Leicester because we're not going to win it, so it's like for me, glamour tie. Who've we got? And then you get Leicester at home. I thought, fuck that, man. Let Leicester play Chelsea away.
Throw the game.
Yeah, I think their game against Southampton now has to be moved, which was a Friday night game, so that's going to be moved. So that'll have to be stuck midweek somewhere. So again, that's going to help us. So. Yeah, it might be a blessing in disguise, getting knocked out. Jack, are you asked, mate? What did you think of the game? But are you asked at all that we were knocked out in the manner that we were? Obviously, at the time you're frustrated, but now,
it did my head in. I didn't. We gave a proper mint account of ourselves, didn't we? Which is what it's about, really. But I did really want to win. I wanted to go. What I thought were interesting. I did have a few slippers. I can't remember exactly what he said, but. Farke did mention that he wanted to win. He said, did he say it's unrealistic? I don't know if he said unrealistic, but he said something like, it might seem unrealistic, but I did want to win the whole competition.
Yeah, he did say that.
I'm bang up for that. I just like people. I like him saying that though. You know, like because it is important. And if everybody in the side wanted to win that game, didn't they? Nobody wanted that in last minute. I thought they really left it all out there. Really. Do you think that the changes were forced as well, or do you think there's a bit of with a lot of games coming up?
I think he was going for the game, Jack. I think he looked at it 2-2 and thought Somerville and Nantes will win me this game, and it just didn't work, did it?
No.
And they'd obviously made their changes, so I think he was going for that game.
Yeah, because he definitely wanted to win it. It was what would have been interesting as well, because I really wanted to see Rutter, because obviously he's been amazing, hasn't he? And he's that type of player. It'd have been really good to see him at that level, wouldn't it? To see how far up he can go. Like now, really, that'd have been mint to see.
Yeah.
So
I think we win that game with him in their mix. I thought Pirro was pretty gash. So.
Yeah, he was poor. He just got caught on ball a lot, didn't he? As well, he seemed a bit sluggish. Yeah,
his whole play is cumbersome, I think, for me.
Yeah,
it's frustrating. I can't lie. I don't know what we do. It's a bit of a conundrum with him, I guess. Evie, how did you see it, love? Chelsea and Premier League side, we did all right, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, it took them to make 5 changes to beat us. We put our, essentially B team out and only made 2 changes, and they won it on a knife edge kind of thing. They didn't deserve it. It wasn't like they battered us. We were the better team, and for once the pundits all actually, were agreeing. I was listening to a bit of Talk Sport in between because I was out and about whilst watching the game and listening to the game, and they were drooling and salivating over Archie, which felt a bit, almost weird, but they were really, could not praise him enough, which we haven't had a player be praised for Leeds since probably Rafinha. So it felt a bit bizarre kind of having so many, people just singing his praises. But yeah, it took 5 substitutes and 90 minutes to get a team, the team that were playing as well, the players that had played in the Premier League for us last season had been battered for a year and a half. So it wasn't like, these players had flourished in the Premier League previously. They'd been battered in the Premier League for the last year and a half. So I think we did brilliantly. I said to my husband this morning when I woke up, I said, usually if we've played a game under the lights and we've lost, I wake up the next morning, when you're in that kind of hazy, kind of half asleep, half waking up. And I usually get that sinking feeling of, oh, we lost last night. Whereas I woke up feeling so happy and positive because there was the atmosphere, when we lost last year 2-0 to Fulham, it was just, well, here we go again. We're just crap, the better team. They have 2 absolute worldy shots and beat us 2-0. All of this, just the atmosphere and the feel around the club is so completely, we're like a walking oxymoron kind of thing of we're just a complete contradiction to what we were this time last year. And that has to go down to Farke and his management of all the rats and snakes, the management of the young up and comers, the management of the old guard as well, all these different players at different stages of their career, and a club that was in complete disarray, and now we're there out singing a Premier League team who have beaten us, and they only started singing when the 3rd goal went in. They were silent. Well, obviously from what we saw on TV, they were silent from what we could hear. All you could hear was the 5,000 Leeds fans. And I'd have loved to have been there because the atmosphere just seemed electric. And it's one of those games that, despite losing, I'm not going to forget in a hurry for how, brilliantly we performed. And it made me excited for hopefully August when we're back there.
Yeah. The future is bright. Luke, we made some changes. I think Shackleton was supposed to play at left back, but he had an issue, so Firpo came in, but we had Roberts at right back, Gray went into midfield, Ampadu went back into midfield, Cooper came back in. Obviously, you had James and Anthony, so there was wholesale changes, but the pick of the bunch, obviously, for me, Archie Gray going into midfield. What a performance from him. Oscar mentioned it earlier, Luke, about the price tags of the opposition and stuff. At 17-year-old to do what he was doing, there's been compilations knocked up and stuff on Twitter today. He was unreal, wasn't he, yesterday? Phenomenal. Real coming of age, I felt, in midfield.
Yeah, absolutely incredible, mate. I mean, I don't even think it was a coming of age, Joe. I think this season has been a coming of age for him all season. I think he's been arguably our most consistent performer. I remember him having maybe at best 1.5 poor games this season. I think half of that was against Jack Clark, and the other one was Preston away. And I think that for a 17-year-old, well, he's 16 when we started the season. I think that speaks volumes, doesn't it? You know, of the character of the lad, and just seeing his interviews after, you know, after Leicester and that, just like he says, he don't care if the goal's his or not. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't care. He just wants Leeds to win. He's just in his DNA, you know. And I think he'd even be like that if it weren't. I think he's just that type of lad. Even if he weren't Eddie Gray's great nephew, I think he would still be that type of player. He comes across so well, man. Just to be so like such an old head on young shoulders. I think he's just going to take him so far. That coupled with his actual footballing ability, and he's going to be. I mean, I don't want to tempt fate here, but I think he's doing a lot better than Jude Bellingham did at his age.
Yeah, no, it's been said, mate. Don't worry. I know. I hear you because we all go. Should I really be saying this? Because Jude's as good as he is now,
Yeah.
but no, he was like. They were raving about Jude when we were playing him, and I remember him scoring against us. I think me and Oscar actually went to that game at Birmingham, didn't we? St Andrews, me, you, and Claudio. I think.
Yeah.
And but he didn't really stand out at that point. But obviously, I'm not watching him week in, week out. But yeah, there's maybe an argument for it. I mean, 17-year-old. Like Oscar just bossing Enzo and Caicedo. The best bit, one, he gets the ball and he flicks it over Enzo's head and then meets it on the other side and then just passes it out to
So strong.
Yeah, Anthony. It's mad because he's quite small, right? He's quite slight.
Slight. Yeah, he's tall, isn't he? He's probably
tall,
6 foot or so, but he just puts his body in the positions just so, and it makes him look extra strong because he gets his body in between the defender or the opposition and the ball, and it just works, man. Everything he does just seems to work perfectly. Just like anything, there's not a lot he can do wrong.
Yeah, I know it's right. But do you know what? Actually, just before you come in, Oscar, I seen a picture. And I think it might have been at the programme. I don't know if you've seen this today.
Yeah.
When he was tiny and his favourite players were Luciano Becchio and El Hadji Diouf. He came up in a bad time, man. Apart from Becchio, of course. But that time when he had Jufi and that in, man, was
I like
a bit
Diouf,
wild.
to be fair.
Yeah, I hear you. It was... Jufi was a Leeds player, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he was.
If you get what I'm saying. But yeah, over to you, Oscar, on Archie.
Just phenomenal, isn't he? It's the old Twitter phrase of "I'm him." It was just an "I'm him" performance, wasn't it? You know what I mean? It was that his moment kind of thing. And listen, I totally agree with Luke. He's been immense all season, consistency-wise. Right back, centre mid, further up the pitch. He's been so consistent this season. And then he goes. It's one thing doing it against Championship teams, then going to do it against a World Cup winner and someone who Liverpool wanted for 100 million back in the summer. You know, two top players in Fernandes and Caicedo, and made them look bang average yesterday. Made them look bang average as footballers, and that is the level we're talking about here. And obviously, we talk about Jude Bellingham, and even Declan Rice I'll throw into the conversation. You know, for me, that is the future England midfield that you're talking about right there. Archie Gray, Declan Rice, and Jude Bellingham. I really do see it as that. You know, obviously, you know, circumstances next few years will dictate that, but I really do see that as the midfield going forward for England. And I look at how good those two were at Archie's age, and I genuinely don't think they were anywhere near what Archie's shown right now. I'm not saying he's going to be better than those players, but certainly at this moment in time, he's more consistent. He's more versatile, I think, than those two players in terms of where he can play, and he really is just top class. And the thing as well is, what I really like about him is the fact that he's just so good off the ball as well. He's so tenacious that, as well as being really good technically and pretty much can do anything you want on the football pitch at this moment in time, I think he will add goals to his game. I think he will add the assists to his game as well. But he can win the ball back as well. He's brilliant in the press. You know, we made that first goal happen, you know, taking the ball off Caicedo, and he's done it all season.
There was one as well, Matt, Oscar, where Enzo got past him and he chased him back and he did a Gruev type tackle.
Yeah. He's
over
like 5-10 yards.
Went the other way, man.
He's rapid, and that's the thing about him. And he's so intelligent as well. Like in terms of his footballing IQ, he's took Eddie's footballing IQ kind of thing. He's completely inherited all that. He's never more than 5 or 10 yards away from the ball. Honestly, you watch him, he's never more than 5 or 10 yards away from the ball. If we're on it, he's always there as an option to pass to. He helps us get out of a press. He helps us, unpick a lock further up the pitch, and then he can win the ball back and cover for his teammates at right back. And the thing that was most pleasing for me last night was seeing him play in midfield. As much as I've loved him at right back and what he's done there, seeing him in midfield and Ampadu as well, you've seen how good they can be as a pairing. And listen, a lot of the discussion since has been, should we be going for that when everyone's back fit? Should we be going straight to that midfield pairing? But I think more moving forward into the Premier League, you're looking at what that midfield two did last night. It looks like, and it's only going to get better as well in terms of the age profile of them too.
It's for the future, not now.
It is. It feels like our future midfield too. That for me, in terms of Ampadu, I think Ampadu will be the captain. When the sad day does come,
He's still only like 23, 24. Ampadu as well.
That's the thing. We forget how young Ampadu is. He's been around for such a long time. I mean, he last played for Chelsea 5 years ago. I think.
He made a debut at 15 as well, didn't he? Was it Exeter?
Exeter. He's he is absolutely immense as well. In terms of as good as Archie was last night, Ampadu as well was, showed what he can do in that midfield, and he is every bit a Premier League talent. And when the sad day does come and Coops leaves, same as Aylan, I think we all know that day is coming pretty soon. I do think it will be Ampadu who takes over. He seems like him or Rodon seem the most natural, and I just think that is the midfield pairing that we're going to see long term. And I just think it works so well. And if you want to throw a Kamara and Gruev alongside them to toughen it up in terms of a midfield three in the Premier League, or whatever, then that's certainly an option as well. But outstanding them two yesterday, and it was just good to see them two in their best positions.
Yeah, it was great. I think I remember seeing an interview maybe with Firpo saying that Joe Rodon, I think off the pitch is quite quiet. And maybe that's why he's probably not had it up to this point. And on the pitch, he's definitely not. But I think that's why maybe Ampadu gets the nod. But yeah, on the pitch, definitely. Jack, with Archie playing so well in midfield, where do you stand on him playing there at the weekend? Because I don't think Roberts was great yesterday, just my judgment anyway. I don't think he was great. So on the weekend against Huddersfield, do you think he's done enough to make Farke think, do I keep Roberts and move Gray into midfield alongside a Kamara or a Gruev? Or is it, right, back to the league, we tried that out, it was great, but let's get him back at right back for a bit?
I mean, he's definitely done enough to warrant that, but I don't think he should do that. It's like you say, I think it is for the future. I think going forward, he wants Ampadu in centre, and I think for us that is better. But for the here and now, Ampadu and Rodon have been such a joke as a partnership. It just seems silly to rip that up. And also, like you're saying, Ampadu's only a young lad. He's got plenty of time to go into centre. It's sort of like you say, forget that he's a youngster, really. There's plenty of 23-year-olds in Scum Squad that they've been banging on about forever, and he's delivering into it centre back. Great. The thing about Gray as well, what I'd say is because there's a long way to go. I know nobody's getting ahead of themselves with the comparisons and stuff, but there's a long way to go. Obviously, like Oscar said, a lot of variables. Anything can happen. But with him, there's just stuff like you said when he flicked it over Enzo's head, and the stuff he's doing. It's just 2, 3 or 4 things. I just thought nobody else on the pitch is doing that.
Yeah.
Nobody else is capable of doing that. When Bamford got that disgusting goal of the week, you just thought there's nobody else capable of doing that on the pitch. It's like it's a one-off thing, and he's doing them a lot. And you just think, because I'm pretty slow to get on bandwagon, particularly with a youngster, because I remember how good I was when I was 17. But that is a joke. But but yeah, I'm reluctant to really get on it. But then I just watched him last night. I texted my brother saying, no, he's actually a joke. It's not just like, it is a joke, isn't it? But I would put him back into right back. I just think it's good for the squad. And I don't like saying that any players aren't very good, but I thought Roberts were dog last night. I actually did. He looks like he can't run. When somebody pumped ball forward and he set off, I thought, I don't know what he's running for here, but hitting the ball, it was mental. He's never going to get there. Yeah. He did get there, though, actually, funnily enough, but I don't know how. But yes, I'd definitely go to Gray.
Yeah. I would as well, mate.
Back. And like Gruev, there's plenty of development for them two in centre. So you'd be hampering their development as well. Do you know what I mean? We might as well just stick with it. Gray's in the team long term. Gruev's potentially in the team long term. Kamara, they all need to play.
Yeah.
So as long as they're all, and we dominate the ball a lot. Great. I know I'm banging on. I do apologise.
No, it's fine. It's great.
Gray comes in a bit, doesn't he? He doesn't play right back.
Yeah.
I know he's in the right back position, but only when we're defensive. He does actually have a little wander in. It's not like he's playing and getting peppered by winger all day, and you just think, he's playing right back. He's on the ball a lot. He's just playing a different role. It's like we've got constant possession, haven't we? We're dominating teams. So
yeah, we even did that against Chelsea, bro. In the second half, we had 68% possession or something. I think.
I mean, I thought we settled the game down loads against Chelsea. When they had like good moments.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, here we go. They're gonna come, and then they didn't. We kept chilling the game right out. I thought it were mint. Yeah. Like we actually pinned them back, and Chelsea accepted it as well. That when you're decent on ball, when the other team thinks, oh no, let's not get at them, they can keep it, they can hold it, which is obviously really good for us going forward. So yeah, it were mint. I thought but I would go back I'd revert back to Ampadu back with Rodon. Yeah, I think he's better than Struick as well at centre back. I do. So I know everybody likes Pascal.
Don't, man. You'll set him off.
I'll get it cancelled, that, mate.
I'm not sure on him, boys and girls. Sorry, my dear. I literally, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was just some wild takes last night, and it really sort of like it frustrated me because I thought we've just come off a decent result, and straight away it's like I was right about Ampadu in the middle, so I'm now going to say
nobody's saying you were wrong.
No, exactly.
He's mint in centre mid. Nobody's denying that. I'm not saying he's not mint in centre mid.
No, exactly.
I'm just saying I think people make me laugh as well. With like they didn't want to win last night because of the fixtures and stuff, so they're thinking about the team right now. Yeah. But then when they talk about Ampadu going into middle, it's like, well, isn't that for the future? You can't have it both ways, in my opinion.
No, I get it.
So do we do what's better for the here and now and put him centre back, or do we think of the future? Like, you can't have it both ways for me. But I think it's hypocritical. But
if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's my view. When you're on 9 on the bounce,
it's crazy.
With that in mind, then, Evie, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Bit of an hard question for you. Obviously, Mateo Joseph gets 2 against Chelsea, gets his first competitive goal, and then could have had an hat-trick. Would you keep him in the number 9 position for the weekend?
No, for the simple fact of we play better when Bamford's on the pitch. I think that it was fantastic, and I think that it was brilliant for Pirro in terms of it showed him this is how you take your chance, this is how you prove that you're worthy. And Pirro was the only player that, for me, every player for me, barring Pirro, did a brilliant job last night and can say they went toe to toe with Premier League mid-table Chelsea. And
Sorry. JT's just arrived. I'm like, what's he doing here? He's woke up, I think.
But I think the fact that we did so well, Joseph did so well, and he had that real striking instinct. I think that's brilliant. But I think you can't judge an FA Cup game as the same as a league game, because you're not going to have those same opportunities, because most of the remaining fixtures we have are going to be against low block teams, and we need the assurance of having Bamford on the pitch to unlock those low blocks. So for me, if Bamford is fit, completely different scenario. If Bamford isn't fit, I would start Joseph over Pirro. But I think that normally Bamford has to start over Joseph. I don't think that's even a question, and I think it's daft if anybody says otherwise, really, because everybody's hyped up for a game against Chelsea. Are they going to be as hyped up for a game against Huddersfield type of thing? Bamford's hyped up for every game because that's his job. Joseph is still a teenager. His head might drop if he doesn't get the goal against Huddersfield or the goal against Stoke or something like that. So for me, and just flitting back to the Roberts situation, I think you can't judge Roberts by last night's game for the very same reason. You can't say that you would start Mateo Joseph over Bamford, and you can't say that you then wouldn't start Roberts in a championship game because they're completely different. Roberts hasn't played as much. He's a bit rusty. He's new to Farke's system, all things like that. Mateo Joseph yes, he got injured in pre-season, but he did have some pre-season, and he's been under Farke's stewardship for the entire season so far. Roberts has been here less than a month. So, and then going up against Chelsea. I think that's a bit harsh to say that, he wasn't good last night. I'm not sitting here and saying he was fantastic, but Championship, Premier League, completely different kettles of fish. So for the Championship, he got in the team of the season last year in the Championship, because for me, that's his level. Would I be, pushing to buy him in summer? No, because we'll hopefully be Premier League by then. And we want somebody younger, somebody Farke can mould and things like that. But Championship, there's nothing wrong with Connor Roberts. And also it was lovely to see that obviously we haven't played Chelsea in the FA Cup since 1970. So 54 years ago, there was Eddie Gray on the team sheet, and 54 years in the future, there's Archie Gray on the team sheet. So lovely little bookends of a FA Cup.
Definitely hadn't. No. JT hasn't been held, has he? Thank you for that. Are you still alive, mate? Did you make it home yet? Have you even got home yet?
No.
One night with Luke and you're done.
Oh, mate, hell of a night, mate. It was a late one. It was certainly a late one. It's a beautiful night, by the way. First ever away game, so thanks so much for hooking me up. We had a hell of a time. But no, as a lot of you probably figured out yesterday, the tubes are quite shit. It's my mum's birthday coming up. I returned the gift I bought for her. Coming up, happy future birthday. And it is not Joanne Town. That is not my mother. Just another JT out there. Love to you, by the way. But no, so the tubes have been an absolute nightmare getting stuck back. So I've just made it back to my car. So I thought, let me just turn the camera on and do it here, as long as that's okay. Nice. But it was.
I thought you were on a bus, man. What's going on with that steering wheel? I thought that was like a bus.
Oh, mate. Yeah, it's a little cover I put on top of it. I don't really like it, to be honest.
Is that what colour is that, JT?
Yeah, exactly. Is that a Man United sticker I see up back?
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you a little story about last night, JT. We lost him going into the ground, and I swear, right, there was a guy. It must have been his double walking into the Chelsea end with a Chelsea bag from the club shop, and I was shouting him, going, "JT, where you going? You're going in wrong entrance, JT!" And it wasn't him. He would look just like him, same get up and everything.
God, maybe it was. Maybe I'm an undercover Chelsea fan, although
How did you find it though, JT? How was the experience first away there? And that, talk us through it, because it's a great moment. I think first time at Ellen Road, but going away is a different kettle of fish, I think.
Quite a few times, contrary to popular belief, but I've never been on an away game. Just the atmosphere was impeccable from the concords to getting into the away stand. I mean, it's always amazing in a cup experience.
Concords? Are you going on a plane like concords?
No, the concords is what you call it.
Concourse. Concourse.
Yeah.
In Concords, he got on plane, man. Go on, mate.
Shit, yeah, flight of the Concord.
We've lost him altogether now, haven't we? Or is that me? I don't know.
No, signal always goes on Concord, doesn't it, to be fair?
Concord. Is he back?
I think somebody must be ringing him or something, mustn't they?
Yeah, I'll wait for him to sort him back out. What a guy.
He's funny.
He's funny. Now you were saying some bang on things, to be fair, Evie, on the Mateo Joseph chat, and obviously Connor Roberts as well. We can't really make a judgment yet because he's not been tested in the Championship. And the last time he played for us in the Championship, he scored. Did he? Go on, Jack.
I feel like I owe Roberts an apology now, Evie, so I do apologise.
She has that impact, mate. She's always shouting at people.
He's still not fast. That's all I will say. That bloke is not fast.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Roberts.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And actually,
he's not.
Yeah.
I
Go on,
think he's a good
JT,
player.
tell us about
He's
your
a good
game.
player. Okay, no. So we get there, Big Luke is over there, King's Cross. We meet up. I don't quite have a pint, so, I haven't had a couple of drinks. And you know me, if I go to a Leeds game, got to have a couple of pints. I mean, especially in a away day, what are you playing at? So I slide one of the bottles in the train. It's 2-pack to drink it, so I'm necking it on the way to the stadium. Boom. Second I get in there, straight to the pub, straight to the thing. 3 pints for 10 quid, let me tell you something. which is amazing. So I necked those 3 in about 10 minutes because we only had 20 minutes till kickoff. And then everything after that was just a blur. Joseph scoring in the 8th minute. The limbs after that goal was phenomenal. I mean, I just loved the whole experience. As I said, it's a cup game, so you get even more away allocation. And every Leeds fan were extremely vocal. A couple of them didn't think I was from England, so wanted to point that out. So that was an interesting experience, calling me a Johnny Foreigner and what the hell's he doing here? But aside from that, it was a pleasant all-round experience and a great game of football. I have to say, I thought Leeds could have got more out of that game and should have. Very deflating to concede a 90th minute winner from a guy who missed about 5 sitters on the weekend against Liverpool, and he wants to turn up and score today. Meslier should have done better with it, when I look back. But standout performances for me, Joseph. I thought it was really good watching him in the flesh, seeing his movement off the ball, the tenacity. I think I've been proven right with my Joel Perot theory, though, seeing him in the flesh again. Moving about as much as a still image around that midfield, to be honest with you, getting overrun completely. And overall, as I said, I'm disappointed with the result, and then it would have been a guaranteed semi-final. I told you guys, we would have been at Wembley. Leicester, are you kidding me? They are cheeks, mate. They are raw cheeks. We've already beaten them twice. He would have smacked them again. Would have been in the semi-final, would have been at Wembley. But now we can focus on the league. It's extra minutes for Leicester. But overall, as I said, if anyone has an experience to go to Stamford Bridge, a phenomenal experience. The stadium, very, very nice. Bit silent from their end, if I'm being honest with you. I've heard muted microphones that were louder than them. And that's saying something because, I've been to some dodgy stadiums in the past. So, but Leeds fans making all the noise. And it's just a hell of an experience, man.
Yeah, big up, JT. Thank you for jumping on. You can stay on if you want, or jump off.
Oh, of course, yeah. No. I'm here for the show.
No, that's fine. There we go. Do you know what? I'm sorry, lads.
What's wrong?
You missed a bit out where you went flying on your ass on the way out, JT.
Oh yeah, man. My arm is bruised, I stacked that big time. It was so wet and slippery. I don't know. I see Luke jogging off in the distance. I'm like, I've got to catch up here. Like, when your legs completely give way and you fall straight on your coccyx. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, mate. My back was killing me.
I was just laughing because Bike Life 0113 said it's beats and grind. People know people just do nothing, right? It is. You know
Bit
what
of
it is?
Deepak and Gurdev, mate. Of course I know, mate. D&G, mate.
Oh, God, that's a funny one. Listen to Andy, who's just gifted 5 Just Joe Football Show memberships. I love that. Big up. Yeah, we know about that Bike Life. It's a good one, man. It's good. If you've not watched People Just Do Nothing on BBC 3, please make sure you check it out. Have you all seen it?
Yeah, just for Chibody G, mate.
You've never seen it?
Just for it. You never seen it?
No.
I've never even heard of it.
Trust me, it is absolutely brilliant. It's BBC 3. It's about a pirate radio station, but it's a mockumentary, and it's hilarious, man. There's a guy on it called Chibody G, who's their manager.
It's goat tier.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, he goes, D&G, look closer, Deepak and Gurdev. Trust me, you need to watch it, Luke. You'll love it. Same with you, Jack. I know you will. You'll piss yourself. And then you'll also get the reference of why he said that. You'll get it anyway. I'll let you watch it and see. Anyway, that's enough promoting that channel. Right, okay. Or that show, should I say. Listen, we got knocked out of the FA Cup, but 12 cup finals now. 12 cup finals between now and the end of the season. Joe said to me earlier on, it's just 9 weeks. 9 weeks away till the end of the season, which is wild when you think about it. 9 weeks, single figure digits of weeks. We've got an international break in there, maybe 2. So, it's coming thick and fast. Obviously, we've got 3 games in 6 days as well. Stoke sandwiched in between 2 Yorkshire derbies. Saturday, obviously, Huddersfield, and then we play Sheff Wednesday, Friday night. And the mad thing is, Huddersfield and Sheff Wednesday have hit some form. The worry is now, like, down the bottom end, 6 of the bottom 8 won last weekend. So it shows that this time of the season, when business ends, when you need to get results, they get results. So, Luke, with that, them 3 games coming up, 12 cup finals, if you're looking at it on paper, earlier on in the season, you go maximum points. But sometimes you have to be a little bit realistic, and I'm thinking we might drop some. Like, I'm convinced we'll drop some against Millwall at home, I am. But Are you concerned? Are you nervous because there's now jeopardy around these fixtures? Because Leeds United need to be near perfect in order to win the league.
Yeah, these Yorkshire derbies are never easy. Certainly not at this stage of the season when the teams down there have got something to fight for. It's never easy going to Hillsborough and to the John Smiths naturally, but adding the fact that there's potential either one or both of those could be relegated this season, and it makes for a whole new meal. But I still think we're just far too good, and I think this is probably why I made my peace quite quickly with going out of the cup last night, because we didn't. If anything, we didn't want extra time. We could have gone extra time, penalties, and still got beaten, but with an extra 30 minutes of football and the emotion of losing on penalties, potentially we could have won in that time. But what I'm saying is, I would rather have gone out last night in normal time than have to go through extra time and penalties, because I think the lads, the team, the squad probably deserved more last night, but I don't think they would have deserved the heartache of going out at that, even after working even harder for any additional time. So I made my peace quite quickly with it, and I think that the reason for that is because I think we have got 12 cup finals left. We have got 3 massive games in a week coming up, and these 3 are all potential for banana skins for me. And if any could be, it would be this group of games over the next 3. If we go through those unscathed, I think although the run looks technically or on paper a little bit more difficult, we haven't got Yorkshire derbies. We haven't got that many teams in that bottom. I did read an article the other day, and it broke down the average position of every team, the top 4's running, and we actually had the most favourable based on current league positions. I think our average was something like 15th in the league up until the end of the season. Now, whilst that reads quite favourable in our favour, it probably doesn't, because it means that there are a lot of teams we've got to play who are flirting with relegation in that running. So, make of it what you will. I still think we're far too good for any of those 3 sides. Certainly Stoke at home, I think we'll be fine. But again, it could be a potential banana skin. But I still think that the tougher 2 games are Wednesday and Huddersfield, just simply because they're away from home as well. I still think we win all 3. But I think there'll be some tough games.
It is mad, yeah. Like Jack, he just mentioned it there. 3 games in 1 week. So in 7 days' time, right? 7 days' time on Saturday, yeah. We could have another 9 points. Like, where will that leave Leeds United? Will have Ipswich picked up 9? Will have Southampton of Leicester picked up 9? Do you know what I mean? So it's genuinely like, normally you could think, right, we win them 3 games, we're going to be sound, but you just don't know what the rest are going to do, right? So like, we've just got to continue being near perfect. Is there any in this week that Luke mentioned that you're concerned about, or do you think, nah, listen, we're just flying right now?
Well, we're flying, but every game's a concern. Ultimately, it's after 25 minutes in, isn't it? And then if you and it's 0-0, and you think they're going to start hanging in there. The problem in any game, you can't call it, can you? You could be playing Leicester or Rotherham. It literally doesn't matter. Especially like later on, it gets in a game 0-0. People are digging in, like Luke said. If people are flirting with relegation, and also I think a lot of teams will just want to stop us because we're the ones flying, and if it's a big moment for them, isn't it? If a loss to us now is pretty huge when there's going to be nobody's going to get all the points to end the season. Not a single one of us. So there's a few twists to go yet, and we might drop out top 2, and then Ipswich arse might fall out. You don't know. We don't know where the loss is coming from, but I hate to say it, it is coming. We cannot. It's not sustainable what we're doing. We can't win this. Everybody was banging on about Southampton like on that. Well, they've totally. Once you have a little wobble, I think I'm hoping because we've just won a series of games. They went so long unbeaten. I don't know how long unbeaten we are. To be fair,
9. No,
we've won 9.
9.
11, yeah.
And then we got beat yesterday. You mean? Are you including that?
No, I'm not including that. No, because that's not. No, I think league. I think everybody's
9 in the league. I think 9 wins on the spin.
Yeah. But is that unbeaten though? Did we lose the game before the 9?
Yeah, West Brom.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I mean, we can do a few more. We might get through this week. I don't know. Is what I'm saying. I think we can. We know we can win every single game. but there's a slip coming from everybody. So it'll really get down to business after this week, really. Won't it? Once, like you say, once 9 points are delivered everywhere.
Well, you chalk these 3 games off, bro. We've then got single figures of games. We've got 9 games left after this
wild.
week.
Yeah.
You know, it is wild. Yeah, you're
The
right.
heat up
Actually,
now. This is where they're
yeah.
This is where the excitement
Business
comes
end,
in.
man.
Though.
Yeah, exactly.
This is it, man. Because a lot of the middle games, like even if you're losing or you're winning, you're kind of like, there's still 25 games to go. But now the table's starting to shape up, and now every game has serious jeopardy in it. I don't necessarily think that a huge slip up is coming. I think definitely the key is those home games. Don't lose all of those, because if we can remain undefeated at home for the rest of the season, I think genuinely, bottoms up, that's promotion guaranteed. I don't think you go the entire season at home undefeated without getting promoted. Couple of the away games, a little bit tetchy, but I don't see how any of these sides have enough to trouble us, really. Like even Chelsea yesterday, who were a top side, they didn't look classes above us, really, in my opinion. I don't think any of these sides on our A day are going to trouble us. The only thing we have to worry about is ourselves. Are we going to be our own worst enemies again? And what I would ask you, what maybe could throw a little spanner in the works, obviously getting promoted is all about form, and it's about, more importantly, hitting form in the right moment. And I think we all agreed Southampton had their 20-game purple patch a little bit too early. Do you think Leeds' winning streak and Leeds' momentum is a little bit too early also? Would that worry you?
No, because I think I remember looking at Farker's last run in. He did something like 14 wins and something like out of 20 odd. I can't remember, but the points per game in every season's always gone up. So I'm not concerned. I'm not, but I hear what you're saying, the logic behind it, because
we needed them though, didn't we? Really, we needed them wins. We won't be where we are now. Literally, you know, we've needed to go on a rampage all season, haven't we? And we finally sort of hit one.
One thing that I would say
Go on, Evie.
is the fact that obviously our next 4 games are all 19th place and below. So like we are literally their cup final, not just in a we're Leeds United way, but as in they actually need to play some sort of football. Earlier on in the season, they could afford to just sit back, but they are going to need something from us, because like we've just said, the games that we've all got left to play are getting fewer and fewer as the days, let alone weeks, go by. So their opportunity to get safe, and considering how many teams are in that relegation battle, you know, obviously you've got Rotherham are gone, but you've got Sheff Wednesday, Stoke, QPR, Millwall and Huddersfield all within 5 points of one another. So that whole bottom 3 could completely turn on its head in 2 games. So they're going to have to come at us. So we can't be arrogant. We can't be, you know, we can't rest players' legs like we did in the previous Huddersfield game, when obviously we had Leicester the following week, so we had to rest players for that game. Our kind of biggest games are like Hull and Southampton in terms of quality now. Obviously Coventry, I would say maybe as well, but other than that, they're all bottom half teams, or teams that just we're going to be fine against. But the teams at the bottom, you know, Millwall beat Southampton the other day, so we can't rule them out. And, you know, they all hate us. Yorkshire Derbies, bottom of the table, they've got multiple reasons to want to batter us, not just because we're Leeds, but because their actual league safety depends on them getting a result, kind of thing. So I am nervous, but I'm also confident that we do go unbeaten for the rest of the season as well. I don't think that we won't drop points, and I think we'll drop silly points as well. I think we'll win the games we should win, but we'll draw a game that we should win as well, if that makes sense. So I think out of the next 4, I do think there's a draw in that game, in one of those 4 up and coming games.
I reckon it'll be Millwall, you know. I think Millwall will put
yeah, I kind of agree.
Neil Harris will shit house it. But yeah, what I can't deal with though is the meltdown. That's I'm not even bothered about Leeds losing. It's go on, Oscar, because the meltdown will be insane.
When we do get the bump on the nose, it's how we react to it. You know, because it will happen. You know, I think it's inevitable. We're not going to win the next 12 games, and I think what we need to remember as well, in the promotion season 2019-2020, we drew with Luton in that season. During the last sort of 6-7 games.
Cornick.
Horrible game. Cardiff, Wigan, twice to Wigan. And that was the thing. I think the difference between the first Bielsa season and the second Bielsa season was when we lost to Wigan at home, it killed us. The season was basically done at that point. When we drew at home to Luton, with a similar timescale of the season still to go, it annoyed us a little bit. It wound us up, and then we just were unplayable for the last. I mean, we won the last 6 games after that, and we absolutely pissed it in the end. And that's what it's going to be all about. We will get, a few bumps on the nose, and probably 1 or 2 dodgy results, and it's how we respond to it. You've seen with Southampton, they have that one bad result, and it's just nosedived. Ipswich earlier on, the Southampton, similar thing, and we just got to hope that we can avoid that. But I think we can. I think there's enough leadership in that team, and it's one of those. We've had a few setbacks this season, really, but it's never really become a poor run of form. We haven't really had over the season a sustained poor run of form. We've always kind of responded. The only time I can think of was that Preston and West Brom, the 2 in 3 days kind of thing. But we've not had a run of where we've not won for 4 games or we've won 1 out of 5 or anything like that. We've avoided that this season. I think we have been consistent, but now we're starting to really bridge the gap, and we're ahead of the other 2. That's the main thing. It is in our hands, and I think we have got enough to see through that kind of thing in terms of the nerves and that. But we've got the most experienced manager possible for this scenario as well in Daniel Farke. So I'm not getting overconfident, but I am confident we will bounce back from any kind of blows and that lot, because it will happen at some point.
It's worth noting as well the trend of our season. I said you've pretty much hit the nail on the head there, Oscar. The trend of our season, when we have hit a bump in the road, we've reacted really well. Other than that Preston game, I think that's the only time when we've actually had a dodgy result where we haven't gone back and actually spanked.
Well, the Stoke 1-0, that horrible Stoke game. I'll still go back. If we lose out on promotion by a point, that is the game I'm going to go back to. That'll be the game that everyone goes back to, that one. It says how it turned on us, but it wound us up. Huddersfield a few days later, we're 4-0 up inside 40 minutes. We're angry, and that's what I think we've got about us now.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's hope we do the same then on the weekend, mate. We're just being beat by Chelsea. We're going to Huddersfield. We're angry. We're 4-0 up after 20 minutes. Perfect, man. Perfect scenario, isn't it?
And the camera just pans to old Kenneth. I keep forgetting his last name. What's his last name again, Joe? Nagel.
Oh, Kevin Nagel. Yeah.
It'll just
Julian Nagelsmann. Yeah.
Shut up,
No, but would you not argue that we've already potentially had that nosedive though? Because I feel like you guys are diminishing it a little bit. That Christmas period was very ropesy. I think there was a moment. No, it was 3, wasn't it? Didn't we win?
Oh, Sunderland, we got beat Sunderland a week before.
Oh yeah.
So it was, again, that's 3 out of 4 games we dropped 9 points. So I would consider that a pretty big nosedive. Especially considering the fact that Ipswich were falling off. Exactly, that's what I mean. So that's why I would argue we've already had that. Now, is that a good thing? Have we got that out of the way? Did we again get it out of the way too early? It's just interesting because that was when Ipswich also fell off, and we never really capitalised on that. But thankfully, since then, we seem to have woken up, and I think the transfer window, getting some of the players, I think Nanto's been huge to that. His resurgence has won us quite a few games. Connor Roberts now having that extra depth. I think Archie Gray becoming more comfortable in the position. I think there's a few reasons as to why we've done it. But what I will say, and I think is key, is injuries. We have to make sure we don't pick up any silly injuries, because I genuinely believe if we pick up a big injury to a guy like Jorginho Rutter, that could determine the end of our season. Because these things are important. Let's not forget, when we had that shaky year, second year under Bielsa, no one really talks about it. Our squad was ravaged with injuries. The same way, that was one of the main reasons we didn't do well that year. And this season, I do still think there's a couple of key areas where we are quite thin. And so long as we can keep our starting 11 fit, I see no reason why we can't easily get promoted. It's just a matter of keeping Somerville, Nanto, Rutter, Archie Gray, Gurev fit, I think.
Yeah.
I'm calm about Rutter, though, because if Rutter gets injured, we can just recall Brendan Aronson and we're fine, aren't we?
Mate,
get him in the team, Millwall at home.
Don't make me turn that shirt around.
Has it got Aronson on?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, don't worry. I fell for that trap as well, mate. The first shirt I got was an Aronson shirt that season. Tragic. Yeah, and it was that weird tie-dye one as well, so I can't even wear it with anything. Bloody tragic.
Medford.
Just to
Mercy.
contradict slightly what I said about the team struggling in relegation. They're going to have to go for it in games, and we've seen it. We've seen that suits us. You know, teams that are actually going to come at us and actually play football. Sheff Wednesday in the first fixture came for a point at Ellen Road. They came for a point, played for a point. They were happy. They were happy with that. This time round, I think they're in a position now. I think they would still be happy with a point, but I think they're probably going to come at us a little bit more.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah. They would much rather take free, which opens the pitch up, which suits
100%.
our playing style, which makes the game arguably a bit easier.
Yeah, and they both changed the managers as well. Like Danny Roll, Sheff Wednesday, and also the new guy at Huddersfield. They want to play football. Both Germans. They want to play on the front foot. They're trying to do that, which again then opens up the pitch for us. So again, happy days. I think before, who was it? Was it Darren Moore? Was it Huddersfield when we slapped him
Moore was
Army. You remember him in that video? And he was going, "Get out, Darren Moore!
To my club, Darren Moore's shite army."
Yeah, it was class, and they scored again. Fuck off, Darren Moore. It was brilliant, man. That video is elite, by the way. Squareball tweet it out, I think. It's 4-0.
Should have kept one up.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Listen, let's get some score predictions then for the weekend. Evie, we'll come to you first of all. I'm going to try and mix it up, actually. Give me a score prediction for Saturday.
I think it's the first time we score 5 this season, but I do think that we will concede a silly goal at the end as like a consolation. I think it'll be 5-1.
Wow, that's bold. That is bold. Go on, Evie, 5-1. Oscar, how many points do we pick up in the next 3 in this week?
Next 3 games.
Yeah.
7.
So we draw, yeah? Who are we drawing against?
That Sheffield Wednesday one. Why does it have to be a Friday night, that Sheffield Wednesday game? Because I went to that last time it was a Friday night, the famous Chris Kirkland game. Honestly, I cannot believe after that night there's ever been a Sheffield Wednesday Leeds game on a Friday night. What can possibly go wrong with that?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
What an away day that was, by the way. But yeah, I can't.
Have you finished your banning order now?
that lad fell from the stands last night. It was him.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh, was it him?
Yeah.
Really? Is Luke froze for me, or is it?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah.
No, I can see him. He's moving for me.
Oh, there we go.
Am I back? No.
No, it's all right. like a ventriloquist, bro. What? So the lad who fell from the stands was that guy?
Wait, there was a guy who fell from the stands.
Yeah. It was the lad who cracked Kirkland apparently. Well, it was definitely. It's been confirmed. He's now in. I think he's in the hospital with broken pelvis and broken ribs. I think it's been confirmed by Graham Smith.
Wow. Should he have been going then, or?
He's just banned from Ellen Road. He's not. I don't think he's banned from away stadiums.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there you
go. That's
ridiculous. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah. I hope he's all right, though. Get well soon, man. No one wants any of that stuff. Jack, come on, give a score prediction, mate, for Saturday, sorry.
2-0.
2-0, comfortable?
Yeah. I think we'll be bang up for it Saturday. I think we'll be up for every game, to be fair, but yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0, fair enough. JT, how many points are we getting out of the next 3? 9, yeah.
Got a question, Zach. Easy 9 points. What are you kidding me, mate? Easiest 9 points I've ever seen, mate. Easier than picking up 9 points on the M25. I'll tell you that for nothing, mate.
There you go.
Do you know what? I'm going to stop being a Tory. I'm going to say 9 points as well for the next 3.
Yes!
9 points.
Well, good lad. I think look. In a week's time, like if we've got 9 more points, it's going to be interesting to see how the land lies in the league table. It's really business end now, and
if we win the next 3, I think we pull away a bit, to be honest.
Do you? Yeah. I hope so, dude. I hope so. And then Southampton have got to play Leicester, haven't they? Like it's exciting. I think we'll leave it there, folks. Obviously, next up, Huddersfield on Saturday, 12:30. I'll be live from 11:30 for the watch along. Make sure you check out everyone else's channel as well for their respective content. Please go over and subscribe to them all. yeah, it'd be great if you could do that. Smash a like on the video, all that sort of jazz. JT, you drive home safely, mate. Luke, gives a smile.
Hey!
And check out all these TV, City of Leeds fans, EV channel coming soon. You're legends, each and every one of you that come on, and also those that watch. So thank you and have a nice evening, folks. We'll see you later. Peace out.
Cheers,
now.
everyone.